Please write me a program to increase muscle mass. All right, so it's pretty generic, but let's have a look at what they've actually put through here. So we have Monday is squats, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Deadlifts, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. That's gonna be rough. Can you imagine doing a hard set of 8 to 12 reps on squats and then backing it up with some deadlifts after? I mean, I've done it before. It's just not enjoyable. And then finishing that with standing military press, I just know how tanked my lower back is going to be by the end of that. And trying to stand up straight and coordinate a standing military press, kudos for doing it, but I probably couldn't do that effectively long term. I think for a beginner though, that's probably a good starting point. Basic compound movements, beginners aren't pushing that much weight. I'm not going to be getting that much fatigue generated by the exercise because I'm not really at that point. Okay, moving on. Tuesday, we have a bit of a pull workout, I guess. So what's day one? Day one, I guess, is like, would you call that legs? Powerlifting style? Legs, shoulders, squats, deadlifts, shoulder press. And then we have pull. Wednesday's rest. Thursday, okay, this is leg day. Leg press, leg extensions, calf raises. Cool. Oh, we've gone 12 to 15 reps for calf raises. I wonder why. And Friday, we've got chest. That's just wrong. Everybody knows that Monday is International Bench Press Day and Chest Day. So AI has clearly just lost the plot here. To be honest, a program like this is, halfway decent. It's probably a good starting point for a lot of beginners, just getting into lifting, trying to just train some big compound movements and get stronger over time, and then throw in some curls and some calf raises for a good time as well. Although, I don't know if you picked it up. Do you see what's missing here? They haven't included anything for hamstrings. There's no knee bendy stuff. I mean, yes, you do have deadlifts and you are doing squats, leg press, so you are training the lower body, but you're doing nothing direct for knee flexion or bending the knee to train the back of your legs. You might get some indirectly from deadlifts, but you're also going to get a lot more glutes and adductors, and you're still not training knee flexion or knee bending. It's just hip extension, which is the two roles of the hamstrings. To get all nerdy and anatomical, if you're into that kind of thing, one of the hamstring muscles, it doesn't cross the hip joint, which means it doesn't do anything when you extend the hip, which means it's going to be completely untrained. But before we go further into the actual program, let's come back and talk about all these different major points that the AI has given us. So it's telling us adequate rest and recovery is crucial for muscle growth. Absolutely. Make sure to get enough sleep, fantastic, and incorporate active recovery techniques such as foam rolling and stretching. I'm not too sure that foam rolling has a ton of supporting evidence. Is there really much evidence to suggest that foam rolling is useful for recovery? Could you please share some resources? I feel like kind of a dick fact-checking AI and asking it to give us some resources. But I guess, look, this is what it's for. It's a information gatherer, generator, and it needs to learn as well that if you're going to say something is useful, such as foam rolling, back it up, please. Back it up, I'd love to know. One study published in the Journal of Athletic Training in 2014 found that foam rolling before exercise may help to improve range of motion and reduce muscle soreness after exercise. Awesome. However, it's also worth noting that not all studies have found positive effects of foam rolling on muscle recovery. Okay, that is really important. So a second ago, we're being told by AI, do foam rolling. It's good for you, it's going to improve recovery. And now we're getting a slightly more nuanced and, in my opinion, a better response that more closely reflects what the true weight of the evidence really is. Because, you know what, I'm not anti-foam rolling. I've spent a long time in the past doing a lot of foam rolling and found it to be very lackluster and not really necessary or beneficial. And if it did provide some kind of relief, it was more of a band-aid and not really getting into the crux of what I really need to be doing to improve my range of motion or to improve things like soreness or over recovery. But I do respect that there are a lot of people out there who do love it and who do get a lot out of it. Important takeaway from this though is to not take things on face value. Whether it's from AI or whether it's from me or whether it's from another person out there who's saying do this or don't do this, there's usually going to be a little bit more context that needs to be given. Okay, let's go a step further. Please share research that shows foam rolling is not beneficial and doesn't give any significant differences. A systematic review and meta-analysis is like the gold standard evidence-based thing. published in the journal in 2017, found that foam rolling has only small effects on muscle soreness and recovery, and it does not have a significant impact on muscle performance. It's important to note that these studies are limited, and more research is needed to fully understand the effects of foam rolling, muscle recovery, and soreness. All right, so again, this is giving us just a more balanced take, which, if you've watched this far and aren't bored out of your mind, you're one of the rare few. Most people don't want balanced takes. They just want to be told, foam roll or don't foam roll. It's going to boost your recovery. It's going to improve your recovery. It's going to improve your range of motion. It's going to reduce soreness to help you build more muscle. People just want to understand what to do and what not to do, and don't really care to go into the slightly deeper layer, which is probably going to save them a lot of time. Because if we know from this that foam rolling is kind of yes, kind of no, but you believed because you took it on face value that it was a yes and you have to do it, you'd now add an extra 10, 20 minutes to your workouts on doing foam rolling every day for marginal benefits. And maybe you felt no benefit from it, but you kept doing it because you thought, oh, I have to do it. Let's get into the actual workout now and try to make ChatGPT give us something a little bit better. So, can you please rewrite the program but include some hamstrings? Okay, here we go. We have a slightly more balanced workout plan. So we've added stiff leg deadlifts to Monday, which is going to make it a very brutal workout, but we are going to get a little bit more direct hamstring stimulus there. Awesome, thank you. Tuesday, glute bridges. Not necessarily hamstrings like I asked, but hey, you're going to get some hamstrings in there as well, for sure. Lying leg curls, Thursday. Cool, simple. And cable kickbacks. I'm not sure if that's for glutes or for triceps kickbacks, but we are looking a little bit better now. Now, looking at something like this isn't too atypical to what you might end up finding online on bodybuilding.com, or if you were to look at Men's Health or Women's Health magazine, you'd probably find a program like this, I would imagine. Because for all intents and purposes, it's pretty good. But, let's go even further and see what else we can get from this. Why have you chosen to do 8 to 12 reps on most exercises? It allows for a good balance of fatigue and muscle growth. The rep range is considered to be in the hypertrophy or muscle building zone. Could I do sets of 4 to 6 instead? Doing sets of 4 to 6 reps will still lead to muscle growth, but it may not be as much as with 8 to 12 reps. If muscle growth is your primary goal, you may want to do some higher rep sets in your workout in addition to low rep sets. Cool, okay, noted. Thank you. What can we ask next? How long should I follow this program for to build muscle? When should I change things? Good rule of thumb, 12 to 16 weeks. Okay. Track progress and make adjustments to your program as needed. You should adjust your program if you find that you're no longer making progress or if you're experiencing plateaus. Include increasing the weight or reps, adding new exercise, adjusting your rest periods. It's important to note that muscle growth not just depend on your workout routine, but on adequate rest, nutrition, and recovery. Big one. Big one. I think a lot of people are so hyper-focused on their workout and find the perfect program, when in reality, the workout program makes up maybe 50% of the overall response. And the other 50% isn't nutrition, it's nutrition, sleep, stress, other lifestyle shit, God knows what else, that all contribute to your ability to build muscle. So when we think about changing our training program all the time, maybe we don't need to do that. Maybe we need to be changing some other stuff on the other 50% of the pie. I like pie. Okay, this is getting kind of tough now. I've got the program. I know I've got to follow it for about 12 to 16 weeks, but then I've got to make changes. I might add in more exercises. I might increase the reps or the weight, but it's still kind of a bit of a gray area as to what to change. Can you provide me with a sample of how you would change my program after 12 to 16 weeks? Okay, so here are some adjustment examples. Increase the weight, change the exercise, switching deadlifts to trap bar deadlifts, adding in a leg press. Changing the rep range, going from 8 to 12 down to 4 to 6 or 15 to 20. Add in different types of training, high intense interval training, plyometrics, eccentric training, challenge your muscles and prevent boredom. And focus on recovery. So add in more recovery techniques. Okay. This is all some pretty sound advice, but I'm left with a whole lot more questions than when I first started. I just came to a program and now I've got to think about how it's going to change over time, and do I need to increase reps, decrease reps? Do I need to incorporate different types of training? Please write up the program that you would change to. after 12 to 16 weeks. All right, so we've got a couple of things. Like we've gone and increased the weight on squats. We've changed the deadlifts out, as they mentioned before. We're adding in plyometrics, 3 sets of plyometrics, whatever that might be. I mean, there's a lot of variants of plyometrics. Let's just add in three sets of plyometrics. It's like add in 3 sets of cardio, add in 3 sets of strength training, adding in leg presses, okay, and adding in eccentric training. So we're adding in 4 sets of it. I don't know what on, but we're gonna just have 4 sets of eccentric training in some way. Look, I'm sure with a better prompt, I might be able to tease out a little bit more here. But the reality is, honestly, this is a pretty solid program that you could find in some capacity out there online, and it would yield some kind of muscle building response. And if you followed all the directions that were placed in here, you're going to get some pretty good results long term as well. But here's what I think is really important. There is an endless amount of workouts and programs out there. I don't think we've ever really had a shortage of workouts, but we still have millions of people out there who feel kind of lost when it comes down to what to do to build muscle or to get stronger or to get leaner, all these kinds of things. I think what's really important to note here, especially in this day and age, is that you probably don't need a brand new workout. I mean, it's definitely nice to have that, which is part of like why I provide that, but it's more about trying to understand, is the current workout you're doing, is it well suited to you? Does it take into account your personal context? Is it going to be designed more towards your goals? There are so many different variants here. They're talking about doing higher reps or lower reps or adding different styles of training as well and thinking about recovery, nutrition on top of that and your personal context. So it's not about finding new workouts. It's more about how do you create the right filter to be able to pick the right program for you and stick with it long term and add in the right amount of progression where you're able to progress some but not do too much where you start overtraining yourself. What people need is not brand new workouts. They need systems in place so they can be more confident in their decisions and are able to confidently progress, perform the exercises to the best technique possible for their current paradigm, and to probably have coaches or somebody to be able to ask questions to and a community to be a part of. And I think that's something that at the moment AI can't do, but I'm sure that it can in the future. In the meantime though, if you need any of that kind of stuff, that's what I'm here for, and that's what Ganbaru is around for as well. Ganbaru does not give you AI yet, but what it does give you is all of my programs, nutrition calculators and nutrition trackers tailored to you with personalized adjustments, and it gives you direct access to a community of other people and direct access to me to help you with filtering through what the best program is for you right now, how to progress and how to alter these things, how to customize things to you and your personal situation, and how to make progress long term, because that's what it's all about, right? You can check it out with an obligation-free trial using the description link below, and I'll see you guys next time.